Good morning, everybody. Welcome. So one of the basic reasons I'm doing this class today, which is about, I don't really even like to say the word, but it's about cancer, the big C, because I have a couple of clients. I'm a wellness coach, health, wellness, and positivity coach, right? And I have about at least 2 clients right now that have manifested this illness. One in different places, okay? And then I'm also dealing with a very sick baby in the hospital. And as you know, if you've listened to my other talks, and I am on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel, I do go over like some of the basics of illness, which is actually it's kind of very simple, but obviously not so easy, because if it was so easy, a lot of people would not be suffering. I mean, the 3 major diseases right now are heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, right? And we are kind of in a flood, besides, of course, the COVID and all that. But that's a relatively new situation, obviously. But all of it has to do with immunity and has to do with your body chemistry. And we want to, of course, keep our immune system very strong all the time. So a lot of the videos that I did, especially in the beginning, if you go back to the most far back videos, I went over a lot of the things that I want my clients to do on a daily basis. And I'm making these videos, a lot of them, because I want everybody, obviously, to be healthy. And the things that I mentioned there are important for everybody to do. So if you go on my YouTube channel, which is Nechama Zipporah Kessler, that's the YouTube channel, you can go all the way back. I think the first video is November. And I go over some of the basics of keeping your body healthy and your immune system strong. And I think I have at least 1 or 2 videos on immunity. But specifically, when dealing with cancer, the reason that I got into all this wellness coaching, one of the reasons was that my husband in 2003 was diagnosed with bladder cancer. And that really started our journey into all these kinds of, healing modalities that we're into now. And the basics of that is, of course, getting your body into acid-alkaline balance. That all disease is really based on inflammation. And what is inflammation caused by? It's caused by the acid-alkaline imbalance in the body. So one of the ways we got into this is through a doctor. And I'm going to show you his book, one of his books. One of his books is called Sick and Tired, Reclaim Your Inner Terrain. And this is a book by Dr. Robert O. Young, who is a PhD. He's a doctor of microbiology. And he did a tremendous amount of research on the acid-alkaline balance in the body. And through a lot of the research that he did, and by the way, Tony Robbins is a big proponent of his. And also, there's that famous football player that everybody's been talking about. I can't remember his name. But he also is a big follower of Dr. Robert Young. And so the basics are, how do we get rid of inflammation? So a lot of it, of course, has to do with having a very clean inner environment. Okay, so there are lots of ways to have a clean inner environment. I mean, obviously we want to have positive thinking, and obviously we want to eat very, very well, and you want to stay away. The basics, of course, are stay away from sugar and stay away from refined carbohydrates. And of course, he mentions, if you really want to go all the way, if you are already manifesting cancer, then you really need to be more proactive. And that could mean giving up a lot of, animal food, which is very acidic, really going into a lot deeper alkalization. So he also wrote books on weight loss. I mean, a lot of you don't have to do that, but It's his basic book, which I guess I probably sold all of them to my clients because I don't have one left yet. But his first book that I ever read was called The pH Miracle, Balance Your Body, Regain Your Health. The pH Miracle, right? And then he came out with a lot of other ones. The pH Miracle for weight loss, the pH Miracle for diabetes. I don't think he did one for cancer, but his book Sick and Tired deals a lot with the biology of healing the body of cancer. Now, some of the things that I've spoken to you about a lot and covered in my videos before were the breathing techniques that I teach you on my YouTube videos, which are very alkalizing. The Buteyko method of breathing. There's another breathing method that's really very alkalizing, which is called the Wim Hof method. Okay, and you can find all of those. I use those breathing techniques every morning, the Buteyko method and the Wim Hof method, every morning to get my body into acid alkaline balance. Now, for most of you also, you want to also change the salt that you use. We only use the Himalayan pink salt, which has minerals in it. Regular salt is not particularly very good for your body. I mean, most people know that already, but you want to switch over to Himalayan salt. You want to use a lot of the herbs that are healing for cancer, the alkalizing herbs. We love, 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 and it's really very, very important. The CBD tea, which is great for cleaning your body. You really need to, if you're manifesting cancer, it means that your body's already very much, you've got a lot of toxins in your body, and you really need to cleanse, okay? So, in fact, Dr. Young we used to do cleanses with the whole Dr. Young Inner Light Healing community. We used to do cleanses for a week, and it was really wonderful. We can go over how to do that kind of cleanse. It's really very easy. It's not like one of those like fast with water or, for a week kind of thing. Not at all, but it is a way of like letting your body rest and healing your body and getting a lot of the toxins out of your body. So what cancer, Dr. Young's, what he says is that cancer is really Hashem's way of gathering up the acid in the body, bringing it into either a tumor or some other fashion on your skin or, some other way of manifesting cancer, and collecting all that acid so that your body, Hashem is really trying to always save your life, right? So he collects the acid, because if the acid was allowed to just like free range acid, you would really be super sick and you could possibly, perish, God forbid. So this is Hashem's way of healing the person, collecting all the acid into a tumor, and then, obviously either, we can remove tumors, of course, but if Moshe had, like I said, very serious issues with cancer, and we did this very, very healing method of getting the toxins out of the body, cleansing the body, healing the body. And of course, like I said, go back to those early YouTubes where I spoke about hydration and getting rid of the whites and eating more greens and, all those kinds of things that are super important for attaining and maintaining health. And this is what is really necessary. We want to attain and maintain health. So before I end the class, I just wanted to tell you one of my favorite stories. Because when Moshe got really, really sick with cancer, it was a very, very dark period of our lives. So this story, which I'm going to tell you now, is very, very interesting. It takes only a minute. But once upon a time, a farmer had a valuable horse run away. Bad news, said his neighbors and his friends. And what did the farmer say? Good news, bad news. Who knows? Replied the farmer. Later, the horse returned to the farm with many wild horses accompanying it. Good news, said the neighbors. Yay! And what did the farmer say? Good news, bad news. Who knows? Sometime after that, the farmer's son fell and broke his leg while trying to train one of the horses. Bad news, said the people. Good news, bad news. Who knows, replied the farmer. Soon after, the army came through the town, gathering up all the able-bodied young men, and the farmer's son, of course, was passed over because he had broken his leg. Good news, said the people. And what did the farmer say? Good news, bad news, who knows? So every dark situation, like when Moshe was very sick with cancer, we thought, oh my gosh, this is like the darkest thing that could ever happen. It was so upsetting and so dark. But out of it came the Inner Light Healing. We opened up with the Inner Light Healing Center, which is obviously closed right now because of COVID, but we've done workshops, we've done cooking classes, we've helped a lot of people. I became a health, wellness, and positivity coach. Moshe also became a life coach. A lot of things came out of this that who dreamed? So we say, good news, bad news. Who knows? So the main thing is to stay positive no matter what's going on. And of course, as I said, I am a health, wellness, positivity coach. If there's any way I could help you on your healing journey, I'm happy to do that. Please, I'm going to just give out my email address here. It's nechamatk1234@gmail, NECHAMATK 1234@gmail.com, NECHAMATK 1234@gmail.com. And I am so glad that we had this time together. And I'm going to try to unmute everybody because the class is over in terms of the recording. And I'm trying to see if you can unmute because we had an issue with that before.